Pantheon is live. Let's start with basketball. In Toronto last week, we had an amazing jersey retirement. Not only is the jersey retirement the number 1 in 5 Carter, as is his jersey, but unlike every other person in the league on this, every other team, there was a accompanying photo of him doing the coolest dunk he's ever done. And that banner will stand. We can't even call it a jersey retirement. That banner is in the stands forever and ever. In attendance was DeMar DeRozan, the franchise leading scorer.
I'm glad D-Rose came home. Y'all didn't deserve him neither.
And Aubrey Graham feels the same way. During the game, there were many stare downs from him courtside. He sits at the front row. He sits right next to the commentary table. And it's common for the commentators to give the headset over to him, and he talks and he covers the game. It was the fourth quarter. Drinks were flowing. The man from Degrassi, hello, Steve. The guy from Degrassi, he goes, hey, that goof right over there, member for 16 months, appreciate you. That goof right over there, we'll never retire his jersey. Huh? What? DeMar DeRozan proceeded to score like 30-something. The Raptors still won. As the Raptors are victorious, you can read the lips of one Aubrey Graham. Not that the camera was on him, it was on the coach. You know, when they do the handshake thing, they go, and you can hear him say, I'll say politely, he said, out of here. And a word that begins with P. This was brought to DeMar DeRozan's attention during the post-game press conference. It was an interesting response of his. He said that your jersey would never be retired. And
he said he would climb up in the rafters to go tear it down if they put it up there.
If they ever retired. That's exactly what he said. DeMar's response was, well, he's going to have a long way to climb up. And he went off. It was the last question on the interview circuit. He went off. He's minding his own business. Later on that night, DeMar DeRozan, a.k.a. Debo, we all know that is his nickname. He took to Instagram, and I'm sure he saw exactly what Drake was saying. So while he's on Instagram, he went over to quote a famous movie that we may all be familiar with. He put this on his story.
Man, I got mind control over Debo. He be like, shut the fuck up. But when he leave,
I'll be talking again.
In the most perfect movie scene you could do.
Yeah.
DeMar DeRozan gets the last laugh. I checked on Champagne Poppy, and Aubrey Graham hasn't posted a story related to DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah. I love how done up this whole thing was. Like, Drake's not sitting in the box tonight. No. We on the floor. Let's spend extra money. We'll go down to the floor. Because DeMar's here, right?
Regular seats.
Yeah. Debo here. Let's go ahead and, I'm gonna bring Chubbs with me because he like to crash on. Bring him with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna grimace. I'm gonna look real tough because I know the camera is basically on the sideline the entire game, so they're gonna get all this footage. Yeah, I look mean. I look tough. Exactly. I mean, it's not like any time in between, not like us video dropping, and now I could have called, FaceTimed, emailed, DM'd, pulled up on DeMar DeRozan at any time. Oh no, I'm tough for the night in the public with all the cameras rolling while he's working, right? Like the optics of this just don't play the way that I think he thinks it is, because even the people that's trying to throw him a little bit of bail, DeMar, he called Drake after he got traded and they bonded. Man, that shit was a minute ago, first of all. Second of all, I don't think any of that changes where DeMar DeRozan is from. But in any case, those people, even in their trying to give Drake a little bit of bail, was still like, this is some whole ass shit. Like this is some bad shit, because what you are showing people is that each and every single thing Kendrick Lamar said about you hit dead center. Hit dead center. You are so bothered, bruh. Like it would behoove you to just start like mending some of these relationships, if for nothing else than public perception. Let's start to put some distance in between us and the bad taste of Euphoria and Not Like Us and Meet the Grams and let's 616 in LA. Let's
Euphoria,
leave all of that.
616 and what's the other song called?
What was it? 616 in LA, the Meet the Grams, Euphoria, Not Like Us, all of those.
Oh, that one.
Yeah,
The
yeah. No, like,
owner, the franchise owner of the Sacramento Kings is
I
wearing
don't
"They Not Like Us."
out the Sacramento Kings except for DeMar DeRozan and that guy right there. For the only that. But yeah,
Well,
man.
actually, if I scroll up, you might actually see this.
Put a DeRozan banner up. I'll go up there and pull it down myself. That's the answer to your question.
Well, he gonna have a long way to climb to take it down. So tell him good luck.
I'll play music.
Yeah, man. It's a lot of BA-ness
On a night where Vince Carter had a
going on over
great,
there.
memorable goodbye. Vince Carter was crying. There's a meme now. You know, when you're happy about something, you go, "Oh, come on!"
Mhm.
We'll never forget tonight because of that. That will live forever. This little minor beef thing, it's whatever. But the Vince Carter jersey retirement is what we need to be talking about. And he wiped his tear on the banner right before it went up. That was emotional.
It was a dope moment, man, and it's unfortunate that all that had to get, at least slightly overshadowed by what was happening on the sidelines with the rapper.
It makes
Oh, go ahead.
It makes it more memorable, actually.
Sure. But Bomani Jones said it best. You can't lose to the 5'6" guy and then think you gonna press a dude that's 6'8". It just it doesn't work that way. It's never gonna work that way. There's nothing you can say out of your mouth in a song that's gonna make DeMar DeRozan afraid of you physically, like in person, man to man. So like, why are we playing this game? Why are we doing this? Nobody believes it, bruh. Like you look silly every time you step out trying to reassert yourself as the big and bad. With braids in your hair, nonetheless. You too old for braids in your hair. Too old for that.
Is there an age limit on braided hair?
Yeah, he's too old for the two straight backs down the side. Yeah, he's too old for that.
For that. I was about to say though, like Allen Iverson will never have an expiration.
AI's the only one. AI can wear braids until the day he dies. He's AI.
Yeah. I mean, if you got it, the ability to grow hair, you take advantage.
Wrong one. You say Drake got Chubbs with him, so you're invincible. What have we seen Chubbs ever do? Besides put that shell company in his name, the security company, where security guard got shot by somebody who was suspected to be from Weekend's camp. Whatever happened to that shit, man? What's going on?
I think, but
weird shell company with only Drake's name on the exec board. What is going
on? Don't ask questions. Let's go to Game of Thrones next. No. Let's not do Game of Thrones. I actually want to hear what my boy has to say about that. Okay. It is 8:16. Let me timestamp that. Let's talk about this review embargo.
Does he now?
Let's talk about the review embargo, Marcus. The chit chat behind that, the plan behind it, what the terms are, and how low the stipulations are for these guys to actually break, the review embargo.
Sure. So to catch up on with everybody now, what Chill's talking about, Back of the Bus YouTube channel I'm on with my boy Josh. You should follow us. Go ahead. Like, share, subscribe, all the videos up and down. Plenty of playlists to view. A little free plug there. But yeah, Back of the Bus is not going to be reviewing any Disney Marvel content until. And so we announced that, maybe a little hasty, but with the idea that we were still kind of fluid on what would actually break you out of that. Like, what are you actually asking for? With the idea that the reason why we did it in the first place is that we are we're absolutely fed up with how Black characters have been handled over there. I mean, in the company in general, it hasn't been great, but particularly in the Marvel space, it seems to lay itself out pretty bare, right? What they are and aren't doing for the projects that they care about and the projects that they, are experimental or don't have a lot of faith in. And it just so happens that usually falls on the backs of your Black characters. So what are the asked? What are we talking about here? Like, of course, they got Wonder Man coming out. They got Wonder Man. They got Ironheart coming out. Sam Wilson's Captain America. They've got Black characters, coming to the forefront. So what am I even talking about? It's three things. Really can't put it any more dumbed down or simpler than that. The bar is in the 7th level of hell. intentionally.
It is a low bar.
I just want to tell you what it is. So the first thing is the A-lister style of treatment. And what I mean by that is that when we have characters that they plan to, last through phases, that they plan to have, side plots where the role characters end up having smaller stories attached to it. The story is expansive. They intend for it to grow. There's a certain roadmap that they follow when that's the case. Look at Thor. Look at Captain America. Iron Man, right? They have very particular routes to get them to that star status in film, right? We can't really talk about what has happened up until, in the other mediums, because it's a little more expensive. But film in particular is very easy to say what it is, right? Obviously, putting them in a key project that centers them first signals to the audience, okay, this is a leading character, right? This is somebody who you need to pay attention to. All the other characters that are being introduced right now are being introduced to acquiesce around that central figure. And that just does not happen too often at Marvel. R.I.P. Chadwick Boseman, the last great one to get it done. And, obviously we know what's going on with Blade. Now, why doesn't Sam Wilson fit that bill, Chill?
I would say because he's donning the mantle of another character. His movie, we have to wait to see it and watch it, but he's not featured in that alpha kind of top dog. He's more so there to set up Red Hulk and make you be more interested in surrounding characters. There's nothing lasting in calling himself Captain America when we have a Captain America. Right. This isn't the representation I'm looking for.
Also, I would argue that his inception, how he was introduced,
sidekick,
was as a sidekick, right? He was introduced as a piece of someone else's story. That was not with Thor. That's not with Iron Man. Not with Captain America, right? Those paths were clearly set as leading guys, leading men in this franchise.
So there's an uphill battle that he has. He already has this stigma on him.
He has to fight the stigma of being a sidekick, as does Riri Williams, as does War Machine, as does Monica Rambeau.
Oh my
right?
God!
Are you starting to
basically
see,
all of them?
Are you starting to see the trend of what I'm saying here? It's virtually impossible to turn them into main characters when you set them on a course of being a sidekick initially. The next ask is budget. This is the most key to everything, right? And again, I'm not just blowing this out of my ass. You guys can go back and check me on the facts on all of this, right? It's amazing how destitute the writing ground is for Black characters right now, and I'll continue to bear that out. Budget, right? Way back in 2011, the first Thor movie, right? Nothing. Oh shit, first Iron Man. Let's go back to 2003. Let's go back to 2003. The first Iron Man movie. The company is just coming off the heels of near bankruptcy. Blade has to save their ass, right? We're kicking it off with Robert Downey Jr. We're giving him $140 million. That project, $140 million for the first film. Thor, similarly, $150 million in 2011, 7 years later. Iron Man 2 got $200 million. Take me to what, or you don't have to, because it's probably not posted, but we know what the number is. What was the reported budget of the Blade project when it actually had a writer and director?
I heard they were trying to get it to 70 to 90.
No, not that one.
Yeah, not this one.
Yeah. But it was well under 100 million. I heard 80. But it was definitely under 100 million. Now tell me why in 2003, Blade from 100 million relative production budget Marvel. That's a bigger number than even what I seen. Even if I give them the 100 million, it's 50 million behind what they gave Tony Stark in his first movie in 2003.
It's 2008.
When did the first Iron Man come out?
Oh wait,
Iron Man 1?
Yeah.
What came out in 03?
Hulk
was 03. Okay. 2008. Sorry, I'm fudging the years here. But I mean that was 16 years ago, so I think the logic still applies. So 2008, we get 150 million for Robert Downey Jr. in his first project. I heard 80. I think Variety's putting a little bit of stank on there because that was kind of the idea. So even if it's 100 million, we're coming in 50 million shy. And it doesn't even make sense. If adjust for inflation, we should be well over 200 million for this Blade project if we believe in it the way that we believe in Tony Stark. Now, that's just for Blade. That's for Mahershala Ali. Go down the list a little bit. What do you think Riri Williams' Ironheart project is getting in comparison to the rest of the Disney Plus shows? Wonder Man.
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
You know, like we'll see. Or you guys, well, I'll watch it, but I'm not going to review it. But we'll see how that affects the product on the screen, whether or not it's more or less, more visually pleasing than some of the other Disney Plus shows. But I guarantee you, it's not up there with WandaVision. It's not up there with Falcon and the Winter Soldier or Loki, because they don't believe in that character the way that they believe in those three. So budget is a huge piece, right? You pay for what you believe in. You put your money where your mouth is. And then the last part of it would be...
Before you get to the third one, if you read this, it says, it's very small, but it says, considering the Marvel series on Disney Plus were averaging 150 a season, I'm sure Ironheart was somewhere between 100 and 125. What?
Why is the natural assumption that the natural assumption is that it's less, right?
Right.
Because
I don't know who wrote that, but it was on Reddit, so I read it.
Was that? I was on Reddit. I thought you were reading from the IMDb page. My bad.
No, it's some person on Reddit wrote that.
Yeah, some person.
The third
thing, character history. Have you noticed something different about characters like Steve Rogers or even Bucky to a certain degree? Like they do a little bit of background on him. Let's go Clint Barton. Let's go Scott Lang. Let's talk about, I guess Steve Rogers. Obviously, he's got a million past girlfriends. Their backstories, how they're built up, how there are characters added to their lore to make their story more expansive, right? You can see that. You've got Agent Carter, and then you've got her niece that ends up helping Steve when he wakes up out of the ice, right? The younger version. You've got Sam, and you've got Bucky, and you've got Baron Zemo, and you've got all these other extensions of Captain America, Red Skull, that pop up in different parts of the MCU. Same thing can be said about Iron Man, right? It's his impact because of the characters that tie to his story, and his story in general, his backstory stretches across the Marvel universe. Can we say that for Sam? Can we say that about Monica? Hell, we haven't even seen Monica's parents since Captain Marvel.
We saw her mom die in WandaVision.
We saw her mom as I'm sorry, not Monica's parents. What was Monica's name? Monica's mom's name.
Maria Rambeau.
Maria Rambeau. I haven't seen them pop back. We haven't seen them since that little blip at the and when they came and picked up Monica. Does Monica even have a father? Right? Where is Monica's dad at? Sam Wilson. Thank God we seen his sister in the TV show 2 years ago after 10 years in the franchise, right? What's Rhodey's backstory? Is he married? He got kids? Does he have a dog? Take care of his parents or anything like that?
He has America.
He has America. Oh, we found out Fury had a wife that's a Skrull in Secret Invasion. What about it? Did they, he's got anybody else? Does his sisters come to visit? Where's Fury's brother? Are his parents still alive? Did he have any kids before he met the Skrull lady? Because he was in the MCU since the very first MCU movie. You think we get to his background or somebody else that attaches to Nick Fury other than Coulson, who got, shipped away. And you're getting that in Secret Invasion, which was a terrible television show. So there's no respect to the backstory. There's no garden to grow the character, right? They're not plugging anything into it to make it more expansive. They want those characters squarely in the place that they are in to be interchangeable. And that's just not enough for me as a consumer. I can't tell anybody else what they want to watch, what they want to see, right? I'm not trying to preach to you here. I'm just trying to clearly articulate what it is I'm looking for, what we're looking for, and what kind of content we're going to continue to review. Because I'm not just going to keep shipping out stuff that is subpar only for me and mine. for only people that look like me. Right? We have so much attention to detail when it comes to Jean Grey and X-Men 97. So much attention to Scott and Professor X and Magneto and all these other characters, and the black ones can just get in where they fit in. But everybody loves the project, right? So it's all good. And that
And
is
if
how the MCU has been.
so, if Marvel doesn't meet the criteria of the backstory, of the budget, and of the alpha treatment, what are you gonna do until that happens? What's the embargo?
Take me back to this because I want to
Well,
comment
they
on it.
reshot the movie, Brother Stark.
Yeah, so yeah, I was about to say that there's a reason why that budget is like that. Anyways, if they don't do it, then we will continue not to review any of the TV shows or movies, any of the products that they put out. I think the clearest message you can send is to take the promotion away. I'm under no disillusions that I have the strength on my singular platform to reach Marvel. The hope is that other people who are like-minded with me think the same way. I think this is an advantageous time to tell Marvel what it is we think is and isn't working with their current platform. I think this is something that is glaring for me, and I think a lot of other people. So, that's just kind of where we are with it. And
the
if you
review
feel the
embargo,
same,
yeah, I do feel the same. The review embargo would be met if we get what you're asking for, exactly how you put it down. If it's announced, or does it need to begin filming first? Like, because an announcement is not enough to shut you up, I assume.
yeah, I'm not doing rumors or anything like that. So yeah, an official announcement
At
of
Comic-Con, they look at
yeah.
the screen and they say, "There's going to be a brand new movie of Blade." No, we can't fall for that one again. It would have to be
Yeah, I
something
mean,
new.
if there was footage on Blade, that would be one thing, right?
Okay.
But I don't believe in it.
What about a T'Challa recast? Hey,
Absolutely,
T'Challa's then you
that's a
go,
day
okay,
oneer.
that's it.
Yeah,
Black
that's a
Panther
day
3.
oneer. Absolutely.
Okay.
Now, one thing that I do want to remind everyone, kind of through the words here, mention I did not say anything about men and say anything about women. This applies to a Monica Rambeau the same way it does to Sam Wilson, right? I want to see black characters that exist in the Marvel universe get a shot, get a real chance, the way that T'Challa did, and we proved ourselves. And they've been finding ways to kind of stunt that momentum ever since. And I'm off, right? Other communities are allowed to ask for what they want in their content. Hell, Netflix almost got sued by the Egyptian government over a reenactment of Cleopatra that was as dark as chill, right? Like the retconning of history in that part of Africa is astounding. But in any point, other communities have successfully lobbied Marvel or Disney as a company to move in a certain direction to please that cultural base. And I don't see why our community should be treated any differently.
All it takes is a project. And after thinking about it, considering, do I join Marcus and Josh on this review embargo way back of the bus? Do I not join them? It didn't take very long. I am with
Appreciate it.
you. I will not be reviewing anything coming out of Marvel, even if it's something that I am watching and I am into and I do care about. I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. Trailer reactions too. I'll take it even further. No more trailer reactions either where I go, on the thumbnail, because whatever.
Because it's free marketing, right? Why promote the products even if I'm going to get on there? Because I used to have the mindset of, all right, well, stay in the game so you can complain about it. But you realize that there is there's hate engagement now that you're actually helping the product streaming about it for an hour or putting up a 20-minute segment that gets thousands of views. Like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to continue to assist the brand go down the pathway that I think is unsuccessful and doesn't really suit me. So that's kind of where we're at with it.
But I'll still cover a scoop here or stuff there. Like, if there's noise that happens that's significant, if one of the actors, like, for example, if I wanted to talk about the election where all the Avengers kind of joined the stream and they said, I can do this all day. That should be Kamala's new catchphrase. Remember that like a week ago? Like, I can mention that, sure. But I'm just not going to go business as usual, talk about the fiction, make a theory about what happens. And the next episode is going to be, that cliffhanger was really tight. No, I'm not doing that stuff.
No,
Nope.
for sure.
Good point. I mean, all of it was good points.
What up,
So
Fly?
if you want to join us in that, if you're a someone on YouTube who's thinking the same way, there's 2 channels down, and then maybe we can expand this. Maybe it'll take like Brave New World to happen, where they go, bro, this had nothing to do with Sam Wilson. Very little to do with Sam Wilson. He's not even on the poster, you know?
Oh, now see, and here's the I won't give away all the sauce, but just a kind of peek into my logic here. Look at the landscape of what they have coming out for the next 2 or 3 years, right? Outside of the Avengers films, when you look at the slate of black characters and what they plan to do with Wonder Man, Ironheart, and Sam, which one of those screams success? Right? I seen the budget for Brave New World get mentioned at 375. That was after 2 extensive rounds of reshoots, and Giancarlo Esposito was just quoted last week as saying he's going back into the suit for another round of reshoots. They're making it impossible to make any money on this film. This film can make 800 million and not break even at this point because of how much they've spent already trying to make this work. Now, I don't remember them having to spend $400 million on Chris Evans' Captain America. And those are 2 of the best MCU movies ever in Winter Soldier and Civil War.
Yeah.
I don't remember them having to spend $400 million on Thor Ragnarok. And that was pretty much the only thing that I've liked from Taika Waititi since he started doing superhero stuff. So I'm just that's not a while, yes, it does technically cross the path of budget, right, on the list of demands. It really just doesn't do anything for the other 2 of an A-lister treatment or character history, because there is no character history, and he's been treated as a sidekick up until 2 years ago. So unsuccessful in my eyes.
Would you say to bring up the slate for?
Oh,
You
I'm
said to
saying
bring up the
look at
slate.
not the film slate, the TV
Okay.
shows. But I guess if
Oh,
you want to throw Blade in there, you can. If they were to actually get Blade to the finish line by November of 2025, I think that would be impressive based off of what has been going on with the project already. But I don't think anybody reasonably expects that.
right. You shouldn't.
Yeah, I don't think anybody, because of what has happened so far, expects Blade to actually make it to this date.
Here is the TV show's outline of the MCU. See there, Agatha All Along. That's coming to an end. It is over. And
Yep.
then, What If, Your Friendly Neighborhood, Daredevil, Born Again. Okay, Ironheart, Eyes of Wakanda, Marvel Zombies, Wonder Man, which is a race swapped character and is not real.
Eyes of Wakanda is another one, right? So Eyes of Wakanda is going to be, that's August of 2025. Okay, I didn't even think it was that far out. 4 episodes.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that's shorter than a What If season, and it's not going to be featuring the Black Panther. So
Yes.
what are we even doing with that? What is that?
I don't know.
More Wakanda content without the main character. We don't want that. Nobody wants that. Not
Yeah,
even the white fans want that, right? Because that's not what they showed up for.
Yep.
They showed up for Wakanda with the main character, not discount Wakanda during time travel. Like, no one asked for that. No one was clamoring for anything relative to that. They've become masters of not giving people what they want.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure you got to lay down all of the provisions like right now so that they can't go and sneak and give you a kids show or something that fits your criteria.
Yeah, right. A baby T'Challa or something like that.
It's got to be adult themed or adult digestible, family friendly. Even.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, we're not talking Disney Junior content here. No Bluey stuff. We're serious content, right? The same way you would create it for anyone else. And it just seems so seamless, especially for a company that tries to promote their diversity and all of their inclusion standards and all that kind of shit. But it just doesn't bear out when you really get down to the brass tacks. Whom else, other than Shang-Chi, have they tried to put towards the forefront from an Asian community to lead something? And even Shang-Chi now is going to have to sit back and wait because they got the director for Shang-Chi 2 to direct the next 2 Marvel Avengers films. So yeah, even when we give you a little bit of something, we're gonna make sure you sit and you stew and you sit there, wait. We don't care how successful it was. And I do think Shang-Chi was a bit of a bright spot in a very dreary movie going time. It was a bright spot, but even that, they don't have the full confidence behind it because they feel like wrapping up the multiverse saga first is more important. So they will literally take the writer and director off of that film, say, wait, just, we'll get to that whole Shang-Chi 2 thing later, but he's going to show up in the next 2 Avenger films. And I guess that's supposed to mean that he's a main guy.
How much of this is Marvel struggling to produce in general? Well, even when they struggle to produce, we're managing to get a Vision Quest. We're still managing to get like representation in the top lead with the budget, with the backstory of the characters, accomplishing that still, even with it's a struggle.
And I would challenge you on at least a few projects like Daredevil Born Again. They knew that they couldn't miss on that, right? And the changes that they have made have held fans at bay with the delays. And I don't think it was delayed that much. I think it got delayed once when they shifted the whole schedule, but they've stayed on track after that. And they put up with the delay because the changes that have been reported actually acquiesced to Daredevil fans. They kept what worked in the Netflix series and brought it over, like almost like a 1-to-1, did the easy thing. Now, why is it that is so hard to do what you did on Daredevil and Black Panther or Blade? Find a former source material and copy and paste. Now, what the hell was so hard about that? But even still.
And then Antoine tells us they don't even want to give us an animated T'Challa.
That's a fact. And those are choices, y'all. They don't think that they don't hear that or see it compounding. You're continuing to make those choices. Let's do the Black Project this way. Let's instead of going about it the way we went about X-Men 97, let's do a completely different animation style concept. We're going to go, 5 episodes shorter than what we did in X-Men 97. It's going to be great. People are going to love it. Yeah. DEI.
Oh boy. The last episode of Eyes of Wakanda is going to come out one day before Chad's anniversary. Speaking of anniversaries, the last Chadwick anniversary of his death was August 28th, and we made the Recast T'Challa hashtag trend. There will be another effort to use all of us and all of our voices and take social media to the max. And that will be on Monday. That is the November 11th anniversary of Wakanda Forever from 2022. This Monday, 4 days from now, we, the Recast T'Challa community, will be loud and boisterous on social media. We're gathering Fatal J and I have gathered some other voices that you'll see. Wait for the day to happen. And we're going to be pushing the hashtag heavy all day long. I've scheduled a couple of things. I screen grabbed a couple of other creators who've been saying recast. And I hope that you can retweet it too. Marcus, you going to be retweet heavy on that day?
Absolutely.
The last time we did it, we made sure Recast T'Challa trended. It worked. There were so many tweets. There was tweets every hour. I would refresh and see, and I was like, this is awesome. Fatal J's in the building. Thank you, Fatal J, for popping up right at the correct time. But he is a mastermind when it comes to this stuff. We are planning to do this on Monday. Recast T'Challa is all you got to do. Wakanda Forever is another one of the hashtags also to blast on that day. Look out for it. And retweet all week long. Use your Recast T'Challa tweets also. It doesn't have to be just today. Let me show you what he put out. Here's the poster for it, which I probably should have had ready before I started talking. But the poster for it, trending day, is Recast T'Challa Forever, Wakanda Forever. Just in case they get too funny with the recast hashtag and they shadow ban it, use also T'Challa Forever and Wakanda Forever, which will be trending that day just because it happens to be the anniversary. So while others are tweeting about it and while it's trending for them, when someone clicks on it, they'll be like, oh, people want to get this guy recast. And maybe there's someone who isn't so fixated and has their mindset on the recast of being anti-recast. Maybe they're like, oh, I'm open to this idea. That makes sense. They're maybe less emotionally attached to the situation, maybe less reactive or impulsive, maybe is the better word.
Mhm.
I think like the more of these we do, the better and more louder the voice is, and the easier it is for Marvel to just actually freaking recast and not be worried
Yeah.
that we're doing the wrong thing.
Every time it goes viral, I think it gains supporters. It just it's natural snowball because the logic of it is true. It is very sound, and once you get past the emotion, if there is real emotion there and it's not just performative, then you begin to realize that this character has an impact that deserves to be felt, right? Like at a certain point, you have to realize that you are just trying to hold people at bay for wanting something, for longing for something, for wanting to root and cheer, even more importantly, pay for something,
Pay.
right? You cannot ignore that, not as an actor, not as an executive, not as a director, not as a writer. You can't ignore that. And if you do, you're not doing it right. You're not doing it for the right reasons. I couldn't imagine a musician walking into a music hall, playing a set, getting an encore, and not playing what the audience asked for. What are you doing? Just do the thing, man. Just do the thing.
Fatal J says he's gonna have a big YouTuber retweet that post that I made earlier. You talking about this
Nice.
post? Sorry, 1 second. Let me get out my notifications, everybody. You mean this post here? There it is. Let's read it actually, since we're here. This is a thread. The anniversary of Wakanda Forever, November 11, is on the horizon. When the movie was released in 2022, it took fans on an emotional roller coaster. Marvel led us to believe that they are doing the fans a service by choosing not to recast T'Challa. Now they are continuing with his approach in X-Men 97, Eyes of Wakanda, and the other Black Panther related shows and games. We cannot allow this to happen. This is why on Monday, we will trend these 3 hashtags. On the anniversary, it was recast T'Challa, it's Wakanda Forever, it's T'Challa Forever. Marvel Studios need to see that us fans want the return of T'Challa and no other characters with the mantle. Chillmonger, Gospel mark with a C. And then he goes, on March 20, 2024, X-Men 97. We all know this. Everyone watching knows what happened here, where they made sure it was his dad and not actually him. In the 1943 video game, they're using this version of Black Panther. It was his grandfather, Azuri, not T'Challa.
Man, not what is that man's name from Walking Dead? Damn it, Ezekiel.
That's bullshit to bullshit that.
Oh my god.
Eyes of Wakanda will focus on the people and the allies of Wakanda as they work together to protect the nation and its secrets. The story highlights characters like Shuri, Okoye, and the Dora Milaje as they face new threats and challenges. It's not about T'Challa. You see this thread here? So there is still a chance to bring the inspiration and joy to your fans and make billions in the process. We want the return of T'Challa in the upcoming Avengers Secret Wars film. On November 11, we will trend. Be sure to use the hashtag recast T'Challa, and don't forget to include Wakanda Forever and T'Challa Forever as well. This is going to work again. It's going to be like just to get it trending, just to get a conversation, just to get new people on by the hundreds, and then maybe by the thousands. And then like the longer we go, the more bigger the recast T'Challa cry is, and the more likely to get the recast. So no, anniversary of Wakanda Forever is when we're doing it. Yeah. Yeah.
Can I just say something
Yeah, sure.
that? I want everybody in the chat right now just to remember this moment. Take a mental picture of that flyer when you see it next. Remember the individuals that, you know, that wanted this to happen specifically at this date, you know, because I want to be able to circle back around no matter how it goes. But if it goes successfully, I want to be able to give those individuals their just due.
That's nice of you. I'm going to go like that tweet now. Yes, go like it. Professor Film Fan, like it. Eyes of Wakanda. Well, my eyes better see T'Challa. No, it's
No, they're not.
what did
No,
Planet
they're
Fanatics tell us? He said eyes of no T'Challa,
not.
and he's still not here yet. Let's go to where you want to go. Game of Thrones. I don't want to do Star Wars without him.
I don't want to do Game of Thrones without him. What else do we have on the docket?
We did the Raptors. We did Wakanda Forever.
Oh, you want to talk about the neighborhood friendly Spider-Man theme song?
Wait, what? They put
Did
out
you
the
not
theme
see
song?
that?
Really? No. When was that?
Yeah. There's a verse. It's a verse in it. Hold on, I'm gonna send it to the
And is it
Pantheon.
just like the old song that we all remember and love?
No, nope.
Hmm.
But I will let you see it, and then you tell me. Also, it looks like Noah Lyles almost lost a race to I Show Speed, which is nuts.
He said he wasn't running full speed.
I don't give a shit. Why would you get down and race the man if he was gonna make it look close? If you wasn't gonna embarrass him, why would you get down and run?
No, you got to think against Noah Lyles ever since the world champion of what?
No.
Yes, you
Okay.
do. It's all recorded. It's documented.
Chill. If I were going to compete against you on camera, right, and I had to pay, you had to pay me to do it. I'm gonna walk out there and do you so filthy that you are never gonna challenge me again. Like, cause you went through all of this trouble to get this smoke. I'll say so. Now I'm gonna give it to you. If he was
50-yard
actually that
dash,
faster than the kid, I think he would have embarrassed him.
50-meter dash. That's how long they were going. You're not going to get that big of a difference.
Oh, okay. See, they didn't tell me it was only 50 meters because he is very slow out of the blocks. He's not a very accelerated. That's why he runs the 200. That's why he runs the 2, because he needs that extra, that gallop. He needs to get there to that second gear.
But sure, and as true as that may be, also once you are in second gear ability, you don't want to go too hard and risk an injury just to be a half second faster. So he did what he did.
Why are you running then? If we're saving ourselves and protecting ourselves from injury, why are you racing this YouTuber or this streamer?
I think it was for charity.
Was it? Is that what it was for? Okay,
yeah,
that's a good call.
You gotta watch the post game talk right after. Mr. Beast was there for some reason.
He need to go sit down somewhere.
No, I will not take. No, I will not. You can do anything.
He needs some career rehab right now.
Jeff Teague, fine. Mr. Beast, Jimmy Olsen building wells, fixing people's teeth. Mr. Beast, I will not have it. No,
he's got some skeletons. Chill. That's all I'm saying.
I don't care.
Skeletons, you don't care.
The biology.
Okay, but before you hold on. Before you say you don't care, do you know what the details? Do you know the details?
22-year-old. He's like, what could he have possibly done? He didn't murder anybody.
Okay. I'm asking though, do you know anything about what the story about his producer Chris and what was going on with the underage boy or whatever?
I know he is friends with somebody else, but all of the good that Mr. Beast does, I will not waste any time.
Oh, you can't. You can't. Okay, let's leave Mr. Beast where he's at. I just sent you the tweet, so we can hear the theme song. They got a little video of it. I encourage you to go back and listen to that story in a little bit more detail. But let's get to the Spider-Man stuff.
Yeah, I just heard Spider-Man.
Yeah, keep going.
Okay.
I did not like the rap song. Why Spider-Man? Why?
You're picky.
Like, no, I'm not being picky. You know that there's going to be discourse over this, though, right? Like you know that Spider-Man fans are not going to just let this go by the wayside. They're not going to like it. Or let me say this: not all Spider-Man fans, but there is going to be a segment of that fan base, you know damn well, that heard the Spider-Man, and got so excited, and when they heard somebody getting on there rapping, they went, "Why are they doing this?" You know it. The discourse about this song is going to go on the entire time the song is on. I guarantee it. The entire time that the show is on TV.
Right. Sure, that will happen.
I don't know why it was necessary. Anybody else notice anything about the supporting characters? Did Spider-Man go to Harlem? Like where?
Oh yeah, they race swapped Harry Osborn.
Norman. It was a black girl in there too. I don't know. Is that Black Gwen Stacy?
Sure.
But
that I'll agree with you on. It just offers a complaint to those who will make complaints, and it's valid. I don't want them to be fearful that they're being replaced because it makes things that they cry for more likely.
I just don't want. I don't want.
You have to care about that.
I don't have to care about that. No, I don't. About the replacement theory? Absolutely not.
What, doesn't this help the replacement theory? It does.
I guess I just understand the psychology. I don't necessarily agree with it,
I don't
but
agree
I
either.
understand where they're going with it. Like I can see the controversy brewing. I see it before it even sparks. So like, yeah, I know that they're going to be mad about it. Do I think they have a right to be?
Whether
Man, we just got done talking about how devoid the MCU is of black
you're
content.
you're ignoring something. When they're mad and there's 78,000 viewers on there,
Mhm.
if like 13 of them go, yeah, that's one more to their side. And what they grow up to be and how they interact in the real world and the thoughts permeating, brought to you by Disney's decision to race swap a character here.
When Liam was up here talking to us a few weeks ago, Liam was like, if some occurrence in your life leads you to associate yourself with racist, you're always going to be a racist. And so if
This thought is
something,
not
some
racist.
occurrence that happened is going to make you align yourself with the crowd who gets mad every time they see a black face, you wanted to be over there. You were just looking for a legitimate reason to just slide yourself over there. You can't
Before,
justify aligning yourselves with people who have that type of thought process.
but strong disagreement, and I don't want to fight over something another guy said when he's not here to represent
But no,
himself.
I'm parroting those talking points because I believe that wholeheartedly. Like, yes,
the
I
guy-
want to avoid the discourse. I don't want to have these back and forths where we don't have to.
So
But that doesn't excuse people from having bigoted views. Like, if you just don't want to see black people in your content, that's not my issue. I'm not trying to fix that for you, and I don't want you to not have to see that.
Marcus, they did not get there today. It's years and years of being convinced, confirmation that
Who are we talking
black
about
is
here? Years and years
the
of who?
the guy who you're just the theoretical person we're talking about who becomes a racist. He didn't just get there because of today's show. It was a lot of things that brought him to, let's say, in the middle, and then more to the side and to the side and to that side. Like, and I just don't want to provide things like this to push some people over until they
Do you
reach the edge.
think racists are gradually pushed into being racist by
They're not born racist.
like well, okay, so then it's the people who are pushing the racists into racism. It's their responsibility
Well,
not to create racists.
I'm definitely actually, yes. I'm definitely mad at the racists who are on YouTube, this, and that. I'm also mad at
Chill.
the studio who
I'm gonna ask you again.
produces.
I'm gonna ask you again because it didn't sound right. It's other people. So meaning black people, Arab people, whoever. It's on them to not create other races.
No. It's other people, meaning like the studios. What I was saying.
Like companies. Okay, I got you. Like, okay, got you. I mean, I just don't think we have a personal responsibility to keep people from being racist. If you're going to end up being racist, it's not my fault. Like, I don't like. Yes, race swaps are stupid. If constant barrages of race swaps turned you into a KKK member, fam, you're fooling yourself. Like you're very naive and you're convincing yourself that you didn't already have some very deeply rooted issues prior. You're using content to make excuses for what was already in use for some reason, right? Yeah, races aren't born, but I'm not going to sit up here and say that television makes people clan members. It just not, that doesn't make any sense.
It helps.
Chill. It has been maybe from like 2010 to now that we can really put to the forefront race swaps as being a problem. So a decade and a half, and you think that's more responsible for creating racists than whatever.
I didn't say that way.
Okay,
I'm
but I'm saying
this is ammunition. This helps. Now, there's other things happening in real life that are not on YouTube all the time, but YouTube is one of the ways. And race swapping and complaining about race swapping and being valid when you say this guy used to be white, what's so wrong with being white, and they keep changing us.
yeah,
That
but you're cutting out the us. the us of the equation, people who find a way to talk about that shit without being racist.
Yeah,
It is not a
everyone is watching
requirement
me and
of
you.
you to become bigoted
Not everyone is
when
watching
you are
me and you.
talking about these things.
But that's irrelevant to the person who me and you are
It's not
thumbnailed.
irrelevant. That
I guess
person
let me
is
finish
different
the whole
for
thing
that
off.
reason.
If they don't see you and me on YouTube, and then it doesn't matter about what about us. They're not seeing us.
So you can't ever have an opinion that's moral or right without someone else saying it to you on YouTube? Like, come on, man. You don't need to be herded. We're not sheep. You don't need to be told what to do. You know right or wrong. You have a conscience. You have a gut. You can't be goaded into being a bad person if you are a good person. You cannot be prodded into being a bad person if you are a good person. It is very, very simple. Like there's no excuse for racism.
Race swapping a fictional character can't make you racist. You already are. But I agree with that, though. I am there. It doesn't make you racist. I'm saying that this radicalizes people slowly but surely, and enough of this stuff makes it easier for someone to go down the deep end. We disagree, and that's fine. Let's get to the next topic. But I think you were gonna say something though.
No, next topic.
Not all right. Where are we at next? Shoot, did the anniversary? You want to talk about Joker?
Sure. What about Joker? The proposed series or the movie? Tanking.
The proposed series.
Okay.
Let me share my screen. Hold on. Let me find it. I did not have it open. Hold on.
He's playing Blade in the What If series before he's on the live action. Okay.
I saw that he was getting the series, and that's why I put it on the thing, and it was on the
Yeah,
thumbnail.
there was a rumor about Warner Brothers buying Joker to be the next series. Here talking about it a little bit. I don't know if I'm in love with that. I don't want them falling in love with the idea of doing Gotham without Batman. I'm just I don't want to see a million Gotham series if it's not ever going to include Batman. And I don't want to see him pop up in a million TV series either. So it's kind of a conundrum. I think they're kind of taking the wrong things from the success of the Penguin, to be honest with you. They're taking the wrong cues, which is, I mean, not surprising. They kind of fell into the Penguin as it is. He's back.
Hello there.
So, Joker, what are your feelings on a proposed Joker series?
So, yeah, after Heath Ledger died, I think it's best to just put the character to bed and never use him again. We need to retire him. It's the most respectful thing for the character.
I think we've had 3 different iterations since Heath Ledger died. It's insanity.
The Joker series feels like oversaturation of the same character. Batman has many fantastic villains. We had him show up in even the Batman. The Batman had the Joker, but they just took the scene out and they showed us on the internet. The Jared Leto version, okay. Mark Hamill always does a fantastic job in his all of his appearances. It's too much. Joker is it shows you how a studio thinks. This IP sells.
Right. Yeah, like literally. They don't. I don't know. I can't tell you for sure, but it seems as though that they don't put themselves in the seat of a moviegoer, like as if they don't ever go to movies. You would think that these people never go to movies. It's like, is that how it works for you? Will you just go buy a ticket for anything that says Joker on it? Like, who sells like that? Warner Brothers, Marvel, Disney. But yeah, man, I think the success of Penguin should tell you that kind of gritty, darker feel of Gotham is very, very sellable, for the DCU right now. I think people really are attracted to that feel they really like the Matt Reeves style of how he set up Gotham. I'm really enjoying it. That's what they should be taking. Lean into the city a little bit more. And if you are going to do another villain show, go down the Rolodex a little bit further. Don't go to goddamn Joker. You seen what that? First of all, let's get the taste of Joker out of people's mouths a little bit, because it just hit a stinker. A stunker.
A stunker.
A stunker. You know, you should probably not lean into the, all right, we're just going to have Riddler and we'll have Joker and we'll have this, we'll have that, and we'll have all these guys, and then Batman will have his movie in 2 years. Like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to have Batman breaks in Gotham. You know what I mean? It just feels weird. It feels disjointed. Everybody's scared. He runs the city when we're in films, and then TV shows is like, well, I guess he's on vacation. Once I get my food, even leaving parking lot, flat tire, worst spot, campers, corner. Damn, dog. Jeez. All right, yeah. I hope you get home safe, bro.
It's all good.
Park up, lead up, charge your phone. You know what I'm saying? Put it on the dash. Just listen to us. Comment.
It's okay. We got backup topics. We got backup topics and backup topics. Like Shawn Levy is what I'm going to bring up next. Ready? Shawn Levy, you know, the guy who was supposed to be doing a Star Wars film. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Turns out he's not doing that Star Wars. He's going to be occupied doing things that he actually likes. You see, Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman are his friends now. And they're going to be doing a non-Marvel related project. They're going to be reuniting with director Shawn Levy. It doesn't say he's directing, but it says director Shawn Levy is going to be part of Ryan Reynolds' new project. This dude fell in love with Shawn, with Free Guy, and Deadpool and Wolverine was the next thing.
After they do good work together.
They do. It is good work together, and I'm a fan of the work. I'm just saying, this is crazy that Ryan Reynolds got him out of the Star Wars project that he and Kathleen Kennedy were working on. Because if this is happening, there's no Star Wars happening in the next 3 to 4 years.
Well.
Shawn Levy doing
there
both.
Was that little report. What am I doing? There was that little report about somebody Newberg getting hired at Lucasfilm.
There's no Star Wars. There is a Lucasfilm Star Wars.
Thing. There's always for him. You mean there's no Star Wars project for him coming? Yeah.
Old after.
I don't know. I mean, I think if you're doing a Friends project, maybe the schedule isn't as daunting. Maybe you have a little bit more flexibility as to when you can shoot. If I was a director, I would not pass up the opportunity to have a green light at Lucasfilm, because those things are as fleeting as they possibly can be. You're here today, gone tomorrow. Patty Jenkins has been fired and rehired 2 times. So I don't I don't think you really rest on your laurels if you have an opportunity to write at Lucasfilm and they let you stay. So if that door is still open, I think he would try to do both. He's just going to have to be a little bit more creative with his schedule about how and when these things come together. But if you're working with you and Ryan and they want to make a movie, you know what I'm saying? They're motivated to make it happen. I don't think it should be that hard, to be honest with you.
Ray Trilogy.
Stop that. You stop that. Cut it out.
Shout out to Basco. The article has a couple of details here that I wanted to touch on.
What?
It says Ryan Reynolds shared his plans during a recent interview with a Variety Awards Circuit podcast. I'm spending the year writing. Which would mean the movie wouldn't even be directed yet, until next year. I'm writing a movie for myself, Hugh, and Shawn to do that is not Marvel. It says, although the actor kept plot details under wraps, his enthusiasm hinted at something fresh and unexpected, he will work on over the next 12 months. It's unknown whether it's a project that studio has given the green light. Still, given the explosive popularity of Deadpool 3, this upcoming film will surely become one of Hollywood's most highly anticipated films. The interesting thing to me is the only thing I'm looking at is it's going to take a year to write the film. It'll be in like early production, maybe in 2026, and maybe even filmed in 2026. But that is keeping Shawn Levy away from Star Wars. Proof. It's not happening.
Okay.
Dan the Man, they did a follow-up and said that Kinberg Intel ain't right. They said that the new movies won't be a continuation of the Skywalker saga. Dan, what is the Skywalker saga? I have an answer to that question. It's something they made up in the trailer for Rise of Skywalker. For the 9th movie, the first time we've ever seen the word Skywalker saga, it was marketing. I never thought, as I'm watching the movies, like, this saga is the Skywalker saga. It means nothing to me.
So then why are they calling it episode 10, 11, 12 if it's not going to be piggybacked off of the main saga? And then why wouldn't you just start anew altogether? Like have a new Star Wars episode 1. Start the fuck over.
It's called 10, 11, 12 because it comes after 7, 8, 9.
Right, but how can it be 10, 11, 12 if it's not connected to the prior saga? Like, how do you disconnect yourself from the last 3 Star Wars films if you're going to call the next 3 10, 11, 12?
Sure, it's connected to 7, 8, 9 just because it's the same world.
Right, it has to be. So you're going to be you can't get around not pulling off of themes from that prior, so you'll never get away from that story. So you either want something new or you don't. And I really don't understand the leak. So they hired this man to do a trilogy that's outside of the Rey film, apparently, according to Variety, but is episodes 10, 11, 12. Well, who was in episode 7, 8, 9? Rey. How do you do 10, 11, 12 without mentioning Rey? And she also has a movie that's coming up. Or are they folding her movie into this trilogy? Is this actually what Darius said? It's just an extended version of what they came up with for Rey in the first place. I would hate that. I don't think I would ever watch another Lucasfilm project if they did that. 3 more Rey films? 3? Like we were pissed about the sight of 1. You're gonna do this 3 more times?
You pick a great time to stop talking because I'm like typing in the timestamps as you. And this is like the 3rd time in a row that's happened where I was in the middle of muting myself and chat and timestamping it. And we are in the Rey film topic now. The interest in seeing her is down. The interest in seeing the number, the letter X, XI, and XII, the interest is there for that. Out of respect for the franchise, a completionist's heart won't allow themselves to not watch a Star Wars film with the episode number on it. That is why they're doing this episode thing. The connection to the 7, 8, 9 maybe minimal. Maybe like they bring up Starkiller Base or something, or they'll be on the same planets as the old ones.
Why would we expect that? Even when George was still around, that's not what's happening. Right? Like we had 4, 5, 6. Then you had 7, 8, 9. Now we're going. Those were interconnected. Those were built off of each other. Those 3 trilogies.
Kinda. Yoda, appeared in 1, 2, 3, and he made it to the original trilogy. He made it to 4, 5, 6. 5, 6.
Made it to 4, 5, 6. Yep.
Obi-Wan was in 4, and he was in the original trilogy, but not the whole cast. Luke Skywalker.
But they're pretty interlinked. It would be hard for people to actually, or for older Star Wars fans that want to see a break from that saga, like to start over anew, which it kind of sounds like they're pitching by breaking it off from the Rey film. But you can't wholly do that if the roots are in what they don't want anymore. Like it's some of that's gonna come back up. It can't not. It's hard. So I just don't. I don't know what to make of it until they actually announce what these films are going to be. I don't know. It could be some Old Republic stuff. Maybe. Could be maybe they go into the future and they just try to do something new, which is probably not going to be the thing, but it's possible. I just don't understand the logic behind calling it the 4th trilogy. I don't get that.
Which they haven't called it the 4th trilogy. This is us jumping the gun and reading a Deadline article.
But it is on Variety and Hollywood Reporter, so it's getting to the people who actually get the yes or no on whether or not they get to post these things.
I thought Deadline was the one who broke this story.
Was it Deadline?
Maybe it wasn't.
Then it's Deadline in Variety.
It says breaking news, not exclusive. So yeah, you're probably right. It was for Variety or one of the other. It does say exclusive. Lucasfilm had a closed a deal with Simon Kinberg to develop a trilogy of Star Wars films. Kinberg will write the trio and produce them with Lucasfilm chief Kathleen Palpatine. So let's talk about the people.
Fam.
I thought, like,
What
wasn't she
is
willing to
Iker
go?
doing?
She was supposed to leave on a victory, on a high note, and that's what the Jon Favreau movie was about Mandalorian and Grogu was supposed to give her. It was supposed to be a solid movie that likely will gross $1 billion. He's very popular. And then she says goodbye. That's not happening anymore. She's really developing a new movie.
Fam. See, we always get, whenever there's a window of opportunity for them to boot her out, and they don't just come out and say it. Like, even though there's no smoke around her renewal, I am completely convinced that it's going to happen now, because why haven't they been more vocal about giving Kathleen her flowers and saying all about her tenure here at Disney and start pumping her up, start making her look like she's on the way out, like just start congratulating her randomly. Then that's what I would start pumping her. I'd have a Kathleen Kennedy reel on the Lucasfilm section of Disney Plus. Start pumping her up to like a lamb to the slaughter. Like, get her gone, make her feel like she has accomplished it. And they didn't signal that. I knew she wasn't going anywhere.
One reason. Her name is Gina Carano. She's got a lawsuit, and you don't want a grumpy Kathy Kennedy taking the stand against your company.
But you also wouldn't just green light all of these things. Like, this stuff comes with money. She offered this man a contract, so like, he's going to work on something. He's going to bring something to task. She brought in Daisy Ridley, revealed her at Star Wars Celebration. Like, she's taking legitimate steps that if all of this was just for naught and you were going to cancel it anyways after she retired, I think there would be a little bit more guardrail. But she's going forth as if she has a lengthy future at Lucasfilm still, which is insanity. I don't know what is Bob doing?
I don't know. I don't know.
This is disheartening. How much money can you lose?
And then there's also a chance that she'll have creative differences independent, like just
and
herself.
it'll get canceled.
With
Mm-hmm.
Simon Kinberg.
Yeah, it's about a 60-40. I'd say canceled to not canceled.
What do you think about Simon Kinberg's skill as a creator?
Ooh, let's see the list. What has he done?
You put me on the spot. I wasn't ready for that. Hey, read the super chat.
See. Why is my screen all the way? There we go. Guys, why it never tells me when you're YouTube. Never tells me when you're live. Tells me other channels, but not y'all. What's the schedule, please? So we are here on Thursdays around 9:45. Every Thursday we'll be here. So I appreciate you, reaching out to us, and appreciate the $5 on the super chat for sure. But we are here every Thursday around 9:45.
There's his slate.
Okay, let me see here. Mr. and Mrs. Smith was a hit. Days of Future Past I loved. Apocalypse was trash. Is this the first Sherlock Holmes?
Yes,
that was
2008.
That was good. X-Men Last Stand. Oh my God, he did Dark Phoenix. Holy shit!
Right, okay. It's not the best.
He did Fantastic.
Yeah, he did.
Jumper. I love Jumper. This guy is up and down.
Hayden Christensen was in that one.
This dude is up and down. I've always wondered why there wasn't a sequel to Jumper. This Means War was actually underrated. That's one of the rom-coms I'll give my stamp of approval to. Lincoln Vampire Hunter was the most random movie I've ever seen in my life. 355 so.
Mm-hmm.
State of the Union, was this the one with Ice Cube?
I thought it was the Vin Diesel one.
Okay. Triple X was okay for the time. It was good enough action for the time. And then he did the Rebel series. Okay. Man, this dude
Star
is
Wars
up
Rebels
and down.
thing. That's the interesting thing to me. Like, you might actually know what's going on with Star Wars.
Yeah.
But the movies, that's
especially
not a movie.
because of the Favreau, the Mando movie, right? Like, this is an interesting time for him to be coming in. Okay, so maybe we might be putting some blocks together here. He's a Rebels guy. Filoni and Favreau are working the Rebel stuff heavy right now. They got a film coming out. He's getting tagged to do a trilogy. Maybe it's not all doom and gloom. Maybe there is a snake like path where Favreau and Filoni can kind of run some interference and get their ideas to what I would presume is one of their guys. If he did Rebels,
Yeah, Filoni is definitely a Filoni guy.
Yeah.
They work together. He probably pitched for him, but it's got to be a Kathy Kennedy project. And Filoni's like, "Hey, listen, Simon, take care of us."
will we take more? Well, it's hard, man, because it's kind of disjointed storyline wise. In terms of Rey and what's going on with Ahsoka and Mando and Thrawn and all that, like they're literally in different time spans. So I was going to ask if you had to take Rey to get to some more Rebels content, but I don't even know how that would make sense other than time travel, which
World
was
Between
been
Worlds.
heavily, the War Between Worlds. Yeah, there you go. So would you take that if that's how they did it? If they had to include Rey into that with alongside Mando and Grogu and everybody else?
No, I don't want to answer that question because I don't want to take something like Kennedy's not here for long. She will be gone in the next 3 years.
We keep saying that, man.
Right.
She just
not here
won't
for long.
go away.
The trilogy takes probably from beginning to end. It would probably take like from now until 2035.
Yeah, it's
I don't
gonna
want
take like
something
9 years. For
I don't
sure.
want something that she's starting to like when she's long gone. We're still dealing with the Kathleen Kennedy trilogy.
I guess the only thing you would need to do is make sure that this is in line behind the Favreau movie and James Mangold stuff, so that by the time they get done producing those two films and seeing what the direction of Lucasfilm looks like after those two films, maybe that causes some sort of course correction that gets this shit canceled.
You can't. You need to keep her happy because Gina Carano is going to take her to the stand
Well,
in
but
2
you
years.
just said, right? So think about the Mando movie that's coming out in 2025. Then you got James Mangold, which is coming out in 2027. So that's 3 years from now where she could still be going through production problems. If we know Kathleen Kennedy, she'll have some production problems and delays. So like, what if they get success off of those two films? It's like, man, this boy Star Wars stuff really works. Maybe we should try it some more. And
Boy
then
Star
all of a
Wars.
sudden, the Rey trilogy just doesn't seem that attractive anymore.
Sure, I mean that makes sense, but why would something that makes sense happen over there when really
But
in the
they
movie?
just have to make sure they schedule it behind. She can't cut the line. Don't let her cut the line. Say, oh yeah, Kathy, we really believe in that Rey trilogy. Can it come after the Mando movie though? First, let's do the Mando movie, and then let's do James's this film, right? Because that makes sense. We're going in the past. That doesn't affect Rey at all. And then by the time she's caught on to what the hell is happening,
Goes,
Bob is
"I'm gonna
having a
hit
long
send."
conversation with her.
She's gonna say, "I'm gonna hit send. I'm gonna hit send," and they'll be like, "No, Kathy, don't do it."
Man, I don't know, man. I'm sure she knows where some of the bodies are buried, but she's got to be implicated in whatever it is that she could say. So it's got to be like a Hail Mary at that point. What? I don't know. Maybe
Whatever you think Mr. Beast did, she's twice over. She is grimy.
I think he let his homeboy groom a kid, and he knew about it. He knew what was going on.
What was he supposed to do? Get bad publicity for that, or is he supposed to continue?
You're supposed to fire that individual and call the police. You're supposed to stop paying that individual money and alert the authorities.
Kathleen Kennedy, I don't put that past her.
I mean, she knows something because she still has her job and she's lost millions of dollars. And obviously the recent embarrassment of the acolyte. So there's just really a lot of steam to get this lady out of here. And I don't know. I don't know what she got going on, but it's a good deal. What up?
What did Bo DeMeo do now?
Yeah, what happened to Bo?
We saw his Halloween costume. He looked like Magneto.
Man.
Well, what?
The you talking about the little the boxers, the briefs picture? Yeah,
The
yeah.
Magneto
That was
costume.
definitely what was circling around. That was definitely what was circling around.
I don't know, it's not the beginning of the month, so I don't think he had an OnlyFans update.
Oh, is that when they come at the beginning of the month, Joe?
Yeah, he does the monthly.
Are you subscribed? That was a joke.
Oh, yeah, I didn't. Yeah, you're okay. Yeah, I walked right into that one. Sure,
I was like, damn.
shit, yeah. Subscribe to Bonely fans. Don't make me the only one. Everybody,
Do the Bow Me fans? Is that what you called it?
he calls it that. That's his Twitter, his username on OnlyFans. Bonelyfans. Yeah,
Bruh, Buddy is so cringeworthy. I don't understand how he makes me embarrassed for him every time I hear something about him.
it makes it hard to defend. Like if everyone is talking about you that way and they're saying you send photos, don't add
And
to it.
then you come on, man.
You know,
It's like no defense.
the words where if you have the photos of him, whether you want it or not, and then I literally have a photo
And
of
then
him.
everybody, literally the whole internet got it.
So what is it about Bo DeMayo, Brother Stark? Why would we be talking about him? I'm ready to just like be done with Star Wars, the conversation, because all of this talk is for a scoop. Maybe they jumped the gun and at D23 Brazil, they were going to announce this and boom, some scooper got it ahead of time. But either way, we've had announcements for a year and a half for Star Wars Celebration. Nothing has come of it.
Sure. Rogue Squadron was announced.
That was at
Rogue
2020. That was
Where's Rogue Squadron?
Come on. So
Yeah, we've gotten more than just like press releases from the trades. So yeah, while it doesn't like signal death to me necessarily, you hate to hear it though. You hate to hear anything with steam around that saga of Star Wars. I really just want that to be done. But I mean, I guess what Darius is going to be a long extended period. So if you want to talk about Game of Thrones, I guess that's the last thing we talked about. Wakanda Forever, Joker, Star Wars, a lot of other miscellaneous stuff. I think Game of Thrones is like one of the last ones. We kind of been moving.
it's easy to do when there's only two people. Like we need that third. We need Darius to say something about Barbs, and we go.
Let me just say this,
Yeah.
because I think that Kathleen Kennedy is never going to leave, and we're getting a Rey trilogy. That is what we're getting. So you guys can wish what you want. You can think about whatever it is you want, but we're getting that Rey film. We're getting it. I'm telling you.
You even did the chair shuffle right there. Like, I think he's getting serious. Game of Thrones, to me, honest, it was a great show. To the ending, it was bad, but it was always a good show, just with a bad ending. I'm not fatigued of Game of Thrones. I don't hate the characters. I want to know what's west of Westeros. I can see that continuing. They didn't really do anything bad to ruin lore. It was just unclimactic ending and bad decisions with certain characters who are now dead. The main characters are the Starks. Let's go.
Yeah. So they've got a lot of choices. Like, man, they've got so much ground that they could choose to go with. I think the next TV show that's going to be on HBO is Duncan and Egg, which is, I think it's like it's decades before Rob's Rebellion, so it's like kind of in between where they're at right now and how Dance of Dragons and where Game of Thrones started at. But with this being a standalone film, I'm thinking it's going to be something a little bit more epic. It's going to be something a little bit more overarching, something huge, something that they don't want to spend hundreds of millions of dollars doing intricately over seasons. Mm-hmm. So that's why there's really two ways you can do this, right? My first choice, my hope, Aegon's Conquest. We have to explore that. Literally everything Westeros starts with Aegon coming over and conquering the Seven Kingdoms. Like everything, every legend you've heard, every fear of a dragon, every trip to Harrenhal, every sight at the Vale, all of it stems from the legends of Aegon's conquest. Epic story. I would love to see it on film. It would be the biggest dragon ever seen in live action ever, because it's supposed to be 10 times bigger or 100 times bigger than Smaug from The Hobbit. It's 10 times bigger than Drogo, which was Daenerys's biggest dragon. It is going to be the biggest dinosaur dragon-esque thing you've ever seen on a screen. I want to see that. I want to see Valerian the Dread. But you could do Rob's Rebellion and tell that story, from the young Robert Baratheon and the young Ned Stark from their perspective. But why? I think we've gotten just about all the secrets and background story from that era that we can get, really, like it, and also we know where that ends. we know where that goes. Like it's kind of a dead end plot point. I would like them to either go Aegon's Conquest or hop ahead. Go ahead and see where Arya shipped off to. Let's go check in on Jon and the Wildlings. Something like that. I don't know, but not. Somebody pitched me an idea of like retconning and making Jon and Daenerys rule again. I don't know. There was rumors about maybe Daenerys wasn't dead. Blah blah blah. I don't know, but I kind of want to leave the Song of Ice and Fire alone, if I'm honest.
Those actors are going to ask for a lot of money, as they should. The thing is, their careers aren't taking off. So the longer
they haven't.
Macy Williams is her name, or Kit Harington, the longer Sophie Turner goes without huge major roles, the more willing
Sophie's working pretty good. I think the other two, Macy and Kit Harington, are the ones that were expecting to get a little bit of a bigger bump.
The three of them, though, let's say 10 years from now, they'll be like, damn, it'd be nice to sign a big HBO check, and they will. And it'll be much more better for the studio than it would be if they did it now. It'll be a much more economic decision. So we can wait on that. We'll do the Aegon's Conquest. We'll do that movie. It'll be the backdrop for everything we do in the franchise.
Yeah.
So, and then we can also do a sequel if the movie takes off really, really well.
The man ruled for a very long time.
Yeah. So
I think Go on, my bad. Go ahead.
The whole movie doesn't have to be beginning to end. He conquers everyone. He can conquer everybody but the North. The North are the last ones he's got to get.
Mm-hmm.
And if he does that, the North movie will be the sequel. Like, we got to get the North.
You're right, because again, two of his biggest feats were Harrenhal and the Vale, right? And so that's why they expected the Stark King at that time to just go ahead and bend the knee, because he had the pressure of the rest of Westeros at his front door. The North remembers, baby. And yes, you are right. That would be an epic battle if they left the Starks in the background for the entire first part of the conquest. So you can do Aegon's Conquest Part 1 and Part 2 and just show what a formidable army tactician, a wartime general Aegon was in the first movie, to build him up to be this kind of unbeatable god. And now the one thing about that you get in Game of Thrones, the TV adaptations versus the books, is that it always seems to have that idea that the books are the folklore, and that the film gives you the opportunity to see what actually happened and how that rumor got going. So now maybe it wasn't exactly how it played out there in Winterfell and how they said it went. Maybe it was some trickery involved in there. Maybe they actually had Aegon up against the ropes. Maybe the dragons weren't fighting as well in the snow, right?
Ooh.
Like, there's a lot of things you can draw out of that final battle, which was the most hardened battle of the entire conquest. So I agree. You can really stretch that out.
Y'all listening, HBO? Let's get this going.
For real. Daniel Day-Lewis as the Mad King is interesting. It's interesting. Who would you get to play Aegon? Aegon and Visenya and what was the other sister's name? He had 2 sister wives. That
I
whole
don't watch
dynamic
enough.
is gonna be interesting.
Look at the casting of Doctor Who, and they'll find somebody there. One of the British shows.
Somebody British.
Yeah,
It gotta be formidable, man. That dude wore metal armor, had this big ass sword. It's just like, yeah.
and it's also one of those franchises where you don't need a name. You'll do perfectly fine off of the title. So
Sure.
sign a bunch of unknowns who will sign a 3-movie picture deal, like for maybe $1 million each movie or less.
Yeah, sure.
You could do that.
I don't think you need huge names, honestly. It would be nice to maybe see some in a few spots if it's theatrical, but like you said, the TV shows made stars. So
The Dornish weren't conquered, and they're completely southwest Westeros, right?
I forgot what happened with Dorne.
Whatever happened with them,
I was
they
gonna say,
didn't-
I don't think Aegon ever went to Dorne. They didn't repel Aegon; they repelled someone else. But you're right; they didn't fall.
that's why their
It is-
genetics are different than the rest of them.
It just got.
He didn't get there.
Yeah, he never went over there. But yeah, I forgot about Dorne. You're right. You're right.
So the first movie will exclude Dorne and the North. Maybe you just climax with him at King's Landing, and that's it.
Yeah.
The Aegon's Conquest movie needs to happen. Go to the past. I like the franchise, but I consume so much. Forgive me, everybody, for if it sounds vulgar or anything crazy. I consume so much white product that I'm like, where's that black superhero? Where's that fantasy? Where's that what I want to get into another franchise is big, and I love the Game of Thrones franchise. I love the Star Wars franchise. I'm going to be present for all of the new things. Like, but where is that? You know what I mean?
Yeah. First of all, I consume too much white product. Is crazy. Second of all,
I consume a disproportionate to the global population of products leading with white heroes.
no, it's okay, bro. It just sounded crazy. That's all. But to that end, right? We could do a movie about Old Valeria. We could do a movie about Old Valeria. That is where Aegon hails from. Ooh. We could go even further back, right? We can get Lil Aegon. Now, the thing that's interesting to me is that present or where we are at in the Dance of Dragons, obviously the old Valerians or what's left of them are black. Would y'all be mad if Aegon was black? Aegon is from Old Valeria. This would have been like 1,000 years before Jon Snow and Joffrey and all of them, right? So like so far removed, there's actually no recorded history other than written history. Is Aegon black?
It is possible for that to happen genetically, for sure. It is also a white franchise.
And it'll never happen. But
No,
I like the idea.
Fine. I don't like the idea of just because of what it will do, what the reaction will be, and it causes that stuff, the agitation. But it's
there. It's already in the lore. If they weren't mad about Corus Valerian, then why would we be mad? Well, I know why they would be mad, but you shouldn't be. Shouldn't be.
To sell the movie to international audiences with a lead who is not blonde Aegon would be difficulter. It would make less money, and that's the reason he would not be. But he'll have a best friend for
Even
sure.
if it technically isn't a race swap. I know I'm reaching here, y'all. I'm just saying, like,
I'm just not reaching for that. But a franchise where the lead and the whole franchise happens to be a black franchise is like what I'm kind of like comfortable with wasting or spending the resource on.
Could do well. I mean, that's kind of was my point. It's like we know so little about Old Valeria. So much of their history was lost. We just don't know. We don't know anything about it. So like the slate is kind of blank. And I guess Aegon is the one mainstay thing out of that era, other than now Corus Baratheon and his offspring. Not Baratheon, Corus Valerian and his offspring.
You guys are getting crazy with
kind
the
of like
suggestion.
Open canvas.
A Grey Worm origin story. What
Origin
do you want to
story,
see exactly?
not on film. Yeah,
I
TV
know what that
series.
would look like.
Yeah, can we go after the cutting, the rip snip?
Choppy.
Yeah.
Sea Snake No, let's see what they do with him in House of Dragon.
Yeah, but that's who we're talking about. The sea snake, Corus Valerian. So like, but they canceled his series. I would have liked to see that.
Oh, well, so would a Grand Regent
Any
Dragon, but
series
you just disappointed him. It's no, it's not happening.
Yeah, no, that was actually a thing. There was going to be a limited series for the sea snake. There were like 2 of them or 3. There was Duncan and Egg. There was the Jon Snow Wildling series. And then there was the Corus Valerian. God damn it, sea snake series. And all I think 2 of those got axed, and they're just going with Duncan Egg.
Interesting. Arya Stark would have been my first go-to.
For a film or television show series?
For anything, really anything, but for a TV show, like a what is West of Westeros was just the best kind of like imagination inspiring thought, and they didn't do it.
Yeah. I mean, I think it would have been a good way to continue if they wanted to continue on with the Ice and Fire story, to follow Arya, because she's the only one going to a place that we haven't seen. I really don't want to see Jon with the Wildlings. It was a weird ending. Sansa, if she makes some trips back to Winterfell, I'd like to see how Sansa's handling that. But she's doing the most new, so it seems like she would be the character to follow in that instance.
I was pulling up the Vince Carter meme on the side with the volume on. That's why you heard that for a second. I was like preparing to do that. If they gave us that,
come on.
Do you know what he's wearing on this top right?
The
poppy?
No, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, it's a Canadian thing that during Remembrance Day, what do you call November 11?
What do we call November 11th?
Yeah, what's
call it my son's birthday. What do you know about?
What
is that a day I should remember?
Yeah, it's like a military Remembrance Day.
Oh, it's I'm sorry, Veterans Day. Geesh. Yeah.
Okay, so you guys,
Veterans Day. Yeah.
During the build up to that, it's everyone who's like on the news or people who wear suits and professionals, they always put that on them. Ever since I was a child,
Okay.
It was probably going since World War II, because on Flanders Field, that's where the poppies growed, row by row. And there was like a poem we all learned in school, and I guess he was doing his like, oh yeah, I wear a poppy too type thing. So Vince had that on.
That's what's up.
Yeah. But that's the reaction when we get Aegon's Conquest and we get all these Game of Thrones movies. Yeah, come on.
Please.
Black man always got to die first. Don't say that. Thanksgiving. November 11 is Thanksgiving too? Veterans Day and Thanksgiving?
No, it's not.
Who's Mysaria? That sounds like a swear word.
Mysaria. That's I believe that's what's the queen? Queen of the Dragons, not Daenerys, the other one.
Other Queen of the Dragons.
Of the most recent series, Dance of Dragons. Who's the queen?
I see.
What is her name? The chick. There you go. Yeah, Mysaria is her girlfriend.
Okay.
What is her name though? What is fucking shit? Rhaenyra. There you go. Rhaenyra's girlfriend.
Rhaenyra Targaryen.
Once what's her name? Her husband's girlfriend. Daemon.
Used to fancy her.
They share her now.
They are 2, but 3, but 1.
I see you've had someone warming my bed while I've been away. I want to see that conversation. I want to see them have that conversation. So I see you've been having fun while I've been gone. Can I join? You know, Game of Thrones loves their sex scenes.
I have no idea why they call you Littlefinger. Nah, we need Darius to keep us on track. Nah, I'm still thrown off. She killed the Night King instead of Jon. Oh yeah, and then the dragon.
Yeah, man.
The
Yeah.
dragon aimed right for that throne.
Decisions.
Benioff and Weiss, the new Star Wars trilogy. Right? No. They're not doing a
No.
Star Wars trilogy. I gotta catch up.
Yo. No, this one.
Yeah.
Oh man. It was a bad ending, Regent. It was a bad ending. They could have done so much better. They just would have stayed the course. And then I hate that they gaslighted us into thinking like, hey, no. This Danny thing, it's been here all along. You guys just weren't paying attention. This character switch, it's always been there. You guys just weren't looking at it the right way.
We were comfortable. We had a season 2. We're getting a season 3. Yeah, now you can take that. That's what we wanted to do. It reminds me of Avatar when Korra was straight the whole show, and then on the final episode,
And then at the very end, yeah, I was so confused by that because I didn't watch it while it was on TV. I actually didn't even know there was a thing until like I was in college. I was bored. I was rewatching Avatar, and then it popped up. So I was like, oh shit, let me watch this. And so I'm watching it. She's got this back and forth with the little cop dude, right? And I'm like, this shit is getting really annoying. Like, just make them be together or make them find other partners. And so right when it happened, I'm like, okay, that's what was supposed to happen. But she like girls now? Like, what is going on? It was like the last season. They walked off holding hands into the sunlight or something like that. I was like, okay. All right, Nickelodeon.
Disney's got their D23 coming up. Brazil. So I think they withhold things for these conventions. The last time we had a major convention would have been early September. So and they went all out, right? Announcements and trailers and posters. And posters and announcements for things happening 3 years from now. I don't know what to expect from D23 in Brazil, but that like Spider-Man song that you showed me, like the theme song, and maybe things of that nature are what we will get. But next week's edition of Pantheon will cover all of it. Prediction-wise, it's going to be minuscule. We're not going to get a brand new show or series announced coming at D23 in relation to Marvel and Star Wars. You might get something to do with one of their like, Little Mermaid spin-off type things. Maybe the best that they can do.
They'll probably give you some more Wonder Man footage. You don't think?
A Wonder Man footage? Not in Brazil. They don't like dark-skinned people there. Yeah, man, that colorism thing, and I think like everyone woke up to that with the election last week. Like, like guys, it doesn't matter if you're Latino. I'm not gonna do it. I won't do it. Back to
oh no, you can go there. You can definitely go there because
best not to. Darius might want to do
certainly
that.
a thing.
When Darius shows up, he might want to. But the Brazil thing, like Encanto, may be something that they're more interested or likely to have like the biggest announcements for.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see Encanto for sure.
Wonder Man, shoot, nah, because that's supposed to come in next year, December. So a little extra Skeleton Crew sneak peek, maybe.
Skeleton Crew. What about Iron? When does Ironheart come? Is that after Wonder Man?
No, Ironheart will be before Wonder Man, but I don't know what month of 2025.
Could be Ironheart. Yeah, no, I mean, I don't like you said, I don't expect it to be anything new. Like I don't expect them to show anything that we haven't heard that was already coming. Maybe just some additional footage on things that are safe. I don't think Brazil is a big enough con for them to, bring out something new or reveal it at that con. I don't believe no.
Ironheart is June. Oh, that was funny. You said no bueno. Did you do that intentionally?
No, I didn't. Not intentionally.
Okay, Ironheart is coming out in June before Wonder Man. The Lilo and Stitch teaser trailer. How deep into that are they? Yeah, they are deep. They've casted, they've shot.
Yeah, they've casted. They had a little promo at what was that? Was that SDCC this summer where they showed they had the little thing.
That was Anaheim's D23.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
At their home headquarters, they did a great job.
Yeah, they have something. They've got something because you can see the character, right? So they that they shot something on it. I think they could give us a preview.
Because the Lilo and Stitch had a title, and they showed us him, and he was like walking on the screen, and they Lilo and Stitch. That's all they
Yeah.
had. So yeah, they withheld. Look at Tony. I'm impressed by Tony. He usually doesn't say things like this that are like,
There you go,
yeah.
Tony Robbins. Yeah. No sexual joke attached to it. Hey, look who's being a grown up tonight. Now watch the very next comment.
He's gonna be like telling us what Stitch is slang for.
Right.
Will any of those shows have a connection to anything going on in the movies? No, they will not have a connection to anything going on in the movies.
Iron
Marvel
Man
has-
definitely not. Ironheart though, you can. I mean, they
What,
kind of
Armor
have
Wars?
to.
Which movie? Armor Wars.
I was gonna say they kind of have to continue this Riri Shuri connection in some way. Otherwise, both of those characters are dead. The most relevant thing about Riri Williams in the MCU was her connection to Wakanda, and if Homegirl's getting replaced by her nephew or a new T'Challa or whoever, right, or M'Baku, if she's getting replaced, then that means she's going to be looking for alliances elsewhere. And who better than the new budding star in the MCU to kind of hit your wagon to if you're having trouble taking off? If they don't interact at all, I think it hurts both characters because of how they set them on this course in Wakanda Forever.
I like this question.
So I sent you something about this, right? Arcane season 2. Apparently, this shit has cost $250 million already to shoot. And it's only on his second season. And so I was like, yo, that is an insane animation budget, like 125 million per season. That's crazy. I haven't heard of many shows getting up there. And then I realized this is the final season. It's the second season. They've only had 2 and they're done after this. And it took them almost 2 years to get here too. So I'm like, it took you a very long time. So now I'm suspicious about the budget. Did you allocate that, or did we just spend that because of how long it took to get there? And then 2, are we cutting the faucet off because it was so expensive? Because Disney doesn't really. I'm sorry, Netflix has such a plentiful catalog that they know something will eventually hit again. They don't have to hang on to projects that are too expensive. If you're bloated, they'll wrap you up and move on to the next thing because eventually they'll gain the audience back with something else. They're just that diverse. So.
The only thing they don't
I don't know how to make heads or tails of that.
Stranger Things is the only project they've got. Stranger Things and the Kung Fu one, Karate Kid. What's it called? Cobra Kai.
The Cobra Kai. You said that's the only thing that they got?
They're the only 2 which they'll continue with, and it goes past season 3 that feels like they're actually interested in doing. Even Shonda Rhimes will learn that Bridgerton will come to an end for the same reasons. Like Netflix just loves that when you sign on, you've got like 50 thumbnails on the screen, and Arcane has provided that. It is another one of those things to recommend. They love to say we have so many shows instead of saying we have. It's better for them to have 50 shows with 3 seasons than to have 5 shows with 30 seasons, basically.
Yeah, because I mean, look at all the. So they're gonna lose Arcane, but then obviously we're gonna get a second season of Blue Eye Samurai. Right, you're gonna get a second season of Lara Croft Tomb Raider. You're gonna get a second season of the Terminator anime series. Like
they've got the animation.
You're not gonna have time to boo-hoo, Your Dad the Bounty Hunter. You're gonna have other stuff that's popping up.
Why you gotta be my dad? Did you say he said
your dad? No, I said my dad. I said my dad.
Oh, My Dad the Bounty Hunter, which is canceled now, which sucks. I'd still say to watch it.
Shut up.
Yeah, there's not going to be a season 3. They called it.
No.
Yeah. So
See, that's some bullshit.
I'm all for supporting things, knowing that the support will lead to more. That we're not going to get that here with My Dad the Bounty Hunter. But if you have kids and you want to expose them so that they don't have too much white, like Chillmonger was saying 10 minutes ago, if you want them to grow up in a world where the default for entertainment isn't a certain skin tone, then you should expose them to this show. It's not useless, there's still a reason to watch it, even though supporting it won't get a season 3. Worth every penny? What was worth every penny? Oh, the Arcane animations?
Arcane. No. I believe you. It definitely looks good. I mean, I've seen it, so I know it's good. I was shocked to see the first preview and they touted it as the final season. I'm like, yo, I've been waiting on y'all for 2 years. I've been waiting on my Imagine Dragon. And now you're telling me that this is going to be this is it. This is the last hurrah. Like I feel like there was so much more we could have done with that story. You got old girl's home planet coming to invade. You got the sister rivalry still going on. You know, like it's a lot of shit going. You got the little hamster character still alive, running around doing his little thing. Like this is a lot of stuff going on for you to wrap this all up in one season. Not to mention the black character now who's become a vigilante. Right, the boom boom guy, the guy who's rolling around on the board. I don't remember his name.
If I put the boom boom guy in Google, I'm sure it'll pop up.
You know what I'm saying? That dude.
Right
But
to
there's
Man.
a lot.
The Tomb Raider show was actually pretty fire, and the Kong Skull Island show in the same animation style. Michael Nemo asks about Supercell, and he paid $2.
Supercell, I believe they did get approved for a second season, right?
Their Instagram says first season is streaming on Netflix. The second season is confirmed with the muscle.
Nice.
They're so proud of it. Look at them. Let's listen in.
On a project in my life. Rap turned filmmaker, the Netflix Supercell. Netflix won this episode, handed in today.
Rapman is the creator and director of a Netflix show that had me in a chokehold.
When Supercell comes out, I just pray that people take to it the way I take to it.
You're the most watched show on Netflix. That's
right.
been 2 weeks at #1.
This is risky, this is big, this is a game changer. This is
behind the schemes and that, you get me?
It's The Wire, Miss Black Panther, with a little bit of Hulk. Stories matter.
Supercell bringing China into it being a superpower.
Very genius. Yes. Made man from the ends into superheroes.
I've always wanted to play a superhero.
A new experience for me this year.
Country with the side, like you know something, you get me, you know something might get pulled off. Yeah, nuts. Think that virgin still, but I was still gonna
Bang, it's cold. You can't think straight. You can't hear.
6 months, 96 days, every day shooting. Bro, I feel like I still remember the first day.
Actually, truly, I almost fell over. So I'm
he's proud of the whole team. I just think we've accomplished something incredible.
It's a big vision. Hope we've done it justice.
You want greatness, you have to sacrifice. You have to be determined. You have to be disciplined.
You're looking at the behind the scenes of one of the greatest shows ever.
Low key, this is going longer than I thought it would go. I thought like it would be a quick little 60-second. Let's just tune into these guys. Big
nice
enough
little behind the
stuff.
scenes clip. Yeah. Instagram don't have that many. Oh shit! Come on now, focus.
What will the next Netflix flagship show be without Cobra Kai and Stranger Things? We're looking at it. Supercell might be it. It was the number one.
Supercell
might be it because of the way that it captured. It was number one for everybody for a week. So that's, it's got potential.
Could be. What are some other candidates? A Squid Game, obviously. I think they're going to try and push towards the front of the line a little bit more. Dark Mirror has been on for a lot of seasons, but they just they're not consistent enough. The laws are too long for it to be a flagship. Love Castlevania. I'm still working my way through Nocturne.
Netflix doesn't have flagships. It's rare. It's rare for something to do as big as
It's rare, but I think they tried to put Umbrella Academy in there as like a replacement for Stranger Things once it was over, but it just didn't last nearly as long.
But it was it still did good, and that's
it did okay.
Important.
It did okay.
They don't have many A+s, but they've got so many A- shows.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Squid Game, Supercell. Maybe one of these animated projects that they've been letting. I really liked Pluto. Did you watch Pluto?
No.
Fam. If you're into like noir style detective films, the ones where they like talk the evidence through in the background as they're going to investigate and shit like that, it matches. It's like that style of film with AI and robots.
It's an animated show?
Yeah, it's well, I guess it's an anime. Yeah, the man, bruh.
You know,
Do yourself a favor. This is not going to do it justice. Like, I mean, it's a nice trailer, but it's not going to do it justice.
what I
A lot
just
of
tell you about,
suspense, a lot of drama, a lot of mystery.
sure, it's a fine show, but it's the reason I'm not watching The Penguin either. There's there's a lot that I think about before I like take in another new franchise, which is it's affecting the amount of new good things that I'm seeing. But I need to
It's
have a diverse.
unfortunate, right? You take that path, you cut a lot out.
I cut a lot out, but I have a lifetime. I'm good when it comes to white representation on screen. It's great. They are the defaults, and they shouldn't be. There should be new things that I'm consuming, which are positive representations and depictions, and that's why I'm amped to cover the new show of Alex Cross. I think it's just called Cross on Amazon Prime. When that's
Out of
coming out
Dodge.
November 14th. There's also a new movie coming out today, tomorrow. It's called Elevation. Anthony Mackie is the lead of. And if Darius was here right now, I will be chewing him up about how Anthony Mackie is indeed a lead actor. And he put his money behind this. He's producing this film. He's probably acting in it for free and getting a back end on the percentages on the box office. Anthony Mackie can lead a movie. He's doing a great job promoting this movie called Elevation. It's about being elevated above 8,000 feet. If you go down, the monsters will get you. Where are the monsters from? Space. I don't know. From the makers of Quiet Place. It's not the same arguing with you, Marcus. I want to argue with Darius and convince him like this guy will sell tickets and it'll be a success and maybe we'll get a sequel. I don't know. Maybe he's got to die in the movie. That's what's gonna
You want me to be Darius again?
Oh God. yeah, exactly. Yep. And we never see his hair. He's always got a hat on, isn't it? Yeah, there it is. All right, Darius, look, Anthony Mackie is the future. He's way better than you think. You give him no credit at all. He can act. He's been in years of roles. He played Tupac, he played Papa Doc, he was in all these things.
So I hate to burst your bubble. But it's just going to be another Anthony Mackie project. I don't know how many times we've done this, but the man is not a lead. He's a great actor. Great actor. He went to Juilliard for Christ's sake, but he's just not what I would want to see as a leading guy. I think he should just let it go.
You do an amazing job at that. See, you studied this man. Holy smokes.
I've heard him enough. I have his voice now.
Yeah, and then when he gets angry, though, it goes up an octave, Mariah Carey style.
Yeah, I don't know if I can do him angry. I can't do angry Darius.
Darius incarnate. Ha ha ha! Hell nah! Laughter emoji. Darius is bald.
Hey, Darius is bald. It's crazy. Y'all gonna get me in trouble out here doing impressions of Darius.
$2 super chat coming out of Michael Neat. We will read your stuff for free, Michael. You don't gotta keep doing the super chats, bro.
Well, we definitely appreciate it. Yep.
What is 688 exactly? Is this a Netflix
show? I think that was that was that the war movie he was in with Damson Idris on Netflix?
Yeah, 2024.
Oh no, this is Tyler Perry's film.
Is it Kenya Washington there? Yeah.
You called her Kenya Washington? Kerry Washington.
My mistake.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess the first all black women led. Let's see, join black on delivery mail. Face discrimination. Oh, they're the mail service. Okay. Oh, that makes a little bit more. I thought they were like.
I know people are gonna say, Chillmonger, nothing satisfies you. Why are you complaining? But if the synopsis says 855 women joined the war to fix 3-year backlog of underdelivered mail, faced with
definitely thought
discrimination,
the story was a little more harrowing than that.
Faced with discrimination and a country devastated by war, they managed to sort more than 17 million pieces of mail ahead of time. Faced with discrimination.
This is Hidden Figures. It's Hidden Figures during World War II. That's all it is.
My beef is that I'm going to be consuming a movie with a star-studded cast, directed by Tyler Perry, everybody on the cast is of his ethnicity, and I'm associating it with facing discrimination, with trauma, with negativity, with hardships, with the whole movie. I'll be thinking about how everyone in this world puts you at a low status. And that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for escapism. So even though it is a heroic, triumphant story, you know, from the bottom and achieving something, I just don't want to be there for the first 2 acts of trash treatment based on the way that your skin color is, and it's not my thing.
Yeah, and then also it's like what is supposed to be the triumphant moment for the mail delivery women, like for the male women. I just don't. First of all, we've seen this concept already. We've seen the Tuskegee Airmen. We've seen Hidden Figures. We've seen the small pockets of Black people that were allowed to help in war efforts. And, you know, we had Cuban Gooding Jr. shooting the big gun on the warship in Pearl Harbor. Like, we've had this. Okay, we've done this 1-2 before.
Yeah.
We would want to, like you said, what we want to see is more escapism.
Yeah.
We know what our history is, right? Or at least a lot of us do. When they try to tell it on film, the only history they try to tell is about oppression or slavery or, you know, police discrimination or jail. You know what I mean? Like, I wish that creators, much less Tyler Perry, I don't expect him to get out of this, but I wish a lot more creators would try to step out of this box when they start thinking about Black history, because there are a lot more stories that should be and could be told, as opposed to the kind of repurposed, oh man, we were really discriminated in this government entity, and then in this office over here, man, they really didn't like us, and all those lunch counters over there, boy, you better not try to sit down over there, and oh man, police, you better run when you see one. It's just like, it is a constant barrage of the same stuff over and over.
And what does that do to my psyche as a viewer? I don't want to have to think of poor, lame, unhuman dehumanization. I don't want to have to subject myself to that for 2 hours, or at least for the first half of the movie. So the more of that I see,
I feel like films like that just give white people the excuse to say nigger over and over and over and over and over and over again, like the whole damn film. And I just don't want to subject myself to that again. You know what I mean? I feel like it's a Tarantino film. I've heard enough.
That's a great reason there. And I'm not at all, and Marcus is not at all calling these movies bad. But when we only get these movies along with the drug movies and the crime movies and that stuff, it's like we notice that what's missing is, like, you know, young Sheldon. Okay. What about Neil deGrasse Tyson? What if he had something like that, you know? Just a young kid based off of his life, basically, or inspired by, and we just have fun watching this astrophysicist grow up.
You know, I was thinking about this earlier, and I think we were closer to it was an interview with Jaleel White. I think we were closer to what we actually wanted in representation in the 90s than we've been probably in the last 20 years.
And he's right, I know.
Because I mean, look, network television filled with Black fathers raising their children, you know, Black families interacting together, not even just the Black nuclear family. Like, I can think about how it spilled into the early 2000s and shows like One-on-One and what was the Wayne Martin show where he had like his ex and his wife and they was calling together. Like, there is so much Black content that we left in the 90s and early 2000s. I think that we just expect it to be replaced, and you have seen the market and the model go so far in the opposite direction. See, what they don't tell you is that, you know, your ABCs, your NBCs, your CBSs, the 90s was a very dubious time for them, right? There was a time in the early 2000s where they thought cable was just going to be a bygone age, and then eventually they were going to start ripping the cables out of your homes. That's how sure people were that cable was going to die. And so to keep a lot of these studios alive, what did they use? They used Fresh Prince. They used Family Matters. They used Martin and Jamie Foxx and Steve Harvey show and Bernie Mac show. Wayne's Bros. They use those sitcoms to bolster their networks and keep them alive so that they could give you Two Broke Girls and Big Bang Theory and Young Sheldon. They wouldn't have survived long enough to give you that if it wasn't for the black sitcoms in the 90s.
And shout out to the black sitcoms happening right now. Wrong screen, but Damon Williams.
Yes,
I get everyone's name wrong.
Papa's House.
Papa's House.
Yep.
Damon Wayans. First show, the two first year shows have slotted into network's Monday night lineup. CBS. It's the broadcasting network has picked up the first year comedy Papa's House, starring father and son Damon Wayans Sr. and Jr. 18 episodes.
Yeah.
So he's got a new My Wife and Kids, baby.
Basically, yeah, with him and his son. So that's really dope. Do you know that he actually has a club foot? Damon Wayans.
Oh,
I didn't know that, which is crazy because when you see him moving around in My Wife and Kids, I would never know. That's how I know something really did happen to Martin Lawrence. Because everybody's like, oh, well, he moved well in the movie. Nah, man, he putting on a show. Because if Damon Wayans has had a club foot for most of his adult life, and he was doing all that shit, he played 1-on-1 versus Michael Jordan in one of those episodes.
Yeah, great episode.
What an amazing actor. Amazing actor.
Do you see him on the Jennifer Hudson show? No? You know how Jennifer Hudson has the thing
where they like clap them out. They sing to him as they're coming out to the show, to the stage.
Yup.
I think they were just doing that for Christina Milian here not too long ago.
Yeah, and they even
I know, because I was like, damn, that's Christina Milian. I haven't seen her in years.
Yeah, she had a Christmas movie out on Netflix right now.
A little early for Christmas, but yeah.
Did y'all like Hijack with Idris? I don't think they mentioned race once.
Was like Hijack with Anthony Mackie? That was the one with Anthony Mackie, I believe. It was okay. What was that?
I didn't see Hijack with Anthony
It was Damson and or maybe I just keep throwing this movie out and that's not the name. Who's it?
It's one season with Idris Elba. Hijack.
Oh no, haven't seen it
on Apple TV. Your favorite?
They're underrated, dog. They are underrated. Yeah. I'm about to start watching Silo.
Appreciate the $5 again, Michael Nemo. You got it. Hey, when I sell my comic book, please remember me, Michael Nemo. When I got that comic book ready to sell,
I would pay money for this on screen. Actually,
hey, we got Damon here. Damon, we got you up the way.
Oh, he didn't spend a lot of time with Daddy. Yeah, he ain't spend a whole lot of time with Dad.
What club foot?
Look at that club foot and he on beat.
I want to work here.
I like that. They did that for Warren G. They did it for Common, obviously. They did it for Christina Milian, did it for Glorilla. It's dope.
They did it for Tia Mowry.
Yep.
I want to work there. I want to be a contestant on that show. I mean guest on that show. I don't know. I got to do something major just while Jennifer Hudson still has her show going on. Not that it's coming to an end for any reason, but Tyra Banks didn't go for very long either. Nick Cannon went 6 months.
With a talk show? Yeah. I don't know why everybody tries a talk show. Magic Johnson had a talk show before.
What?
Like everybody tries to get a talk show at some point in time.
Because it's easy work. You talk and people write your jokes for you. It's very simple.
Yeah, but it seems almost kind of like opening a restaurant. Like it's like one of those very cliche business ideas you do when you have money.
People need to spend their money somewhere, and
majority of restaurants fail within like 1 to 3 years. So it's like a dead business model. Just like, hey, let me take all my money and invest it in a daytime television show. You know,
for restaurants, maybe the customer is thinking, if I go, I get to get a photo with that famous person, and once you got that one photo, you're satisfied. You want to keep going there?
Never go back. Yeah. I respect the celebrities that aren't very like front facing in their franchises. Like they kind of let the brand speak for itself. Shaq is pretty good at this. of just letting his brands win as opposed to like trying to, hey, this is Shaq's blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? Like he has his chicken spot that's just doing really well. The one thing he did put his face on is them Shaq gummies. Them things smack. There's only 6 of them in a pack. They have his face on them. They're terrific. They're terrific. But like, you know, others try to be very forward about their ownership. Magic Johnson is one of those guys that's always the face of whatever he's doing. When he owned the LA Dodgers, he was doing pressers. When he was, you know, and on the Lakers, obviously he was the guy. He became a general manager or the president of the team, I should say. Magic Johnson Theaters. I don't know if anybody's ever been to a Magic Johnson Theater, but that was one of my favorite spots to hit in Cleveland as a kid. There were a couple different locations.
They're not there anymore?
No, they're closed. That's what I mean. Like a lot of his businesses have gone, you know. He also had a TV show.
If the reason for the Magic Johnson Theaters was to provide affordable movies, then
no, it was regular theater, fam. It was a regular theater, regular ticket prices. It wasn't a discount.
Did he hire people who wouldn't have otherwise had jobs?
I mean, look, he provided employment for people. So from that standpoint, you can pat him on the back, I guess, if you need to give him some.
I'm just looking to pat him on the back. Yeah.
But I mean, he was just making money. He was doing what you do when you have a lot of money and you're trying to make it grow. He was doing different business ideas. He's always spread himself very thin. And the main selling point to him being on with the brand is basically just better brand recognition. Like he doesn't bring anything else to the business wise, other than visibility. So he gets in, he makes his money, gets out, and goes on to the next venture.
The Mansa Musa story. Now, here's the problem with this. This is before enslavement in Africa, or like it's before 400 years ago. I believe this guy was around in year 1300.
It's pre-colonial, sure. Yeah. Pre-colonial influence in Africa.
Mansa Musa. And that's a problem. Why would this man from 1337, he died in 1337, you know, born in the Mali Empire, why would they allow a movie of this man to be shown? Huh? Never. Not happening.
Oh, have you not seen the Mansa Musa series on Netflix?
Netflix. Oh, why is Netflix like?
Oh no, not Mansa Musa. I'm sorry, that was Shaka Zulu. But they did like, it's a very old series. It was shot in like the 70s or 80s.
Okay.
They did like a 10-part series on Shaka Zulu. Yeah.
I was ready to say they never promote this stuff, but they okay.
Yeah, no, it's old. Yeah, it's old. It's old. So I mean, my only point to say that was that it has technically been done before. So it's not out of the realm of possibility, but I mean, you're right. Like, do they really want to show a dominating black man so far back in history where his story isn't told a lot? Are they going to reveal that to the world? In other words, who knows?
Check out Strong Black Lead. That username is a Netflix username, and they only promote the Netflix shows that are happening with a strong black lead.
Oh, nice.
Check out that if you're looking for that. That closes the Netflix portion of Pantheon. I'm going to say goodnight. Marcus, you want to go any further? Because I thought Darius might have joined, but like he said, flat tire. He's listening to us.
Yeah, now you got a lot going on. So we'll hold it down for him tonight. Definitely appreciate everybody in the chat tonight. Definitely appreciate all the super chats. Make sure you like the stream, smash the like button, follow me, Back of the Bus podcast. We will be on there on Sunday doing Behind the Cape and W's and L's, and I'll be back here next Thursday.
And I remind you that on Monday we're making T'Challa trend. It's the anniversary of Wakanda Forever for 2 years. Use the hashtags recast T'Challa forever, and Wakanda forever. As you can see, I am not dead. Gotta move my fingers.
Cue to Josh.
But yeah, go ahead, Josh.
Hey, I've been watching y'all every single time on Thursday and Friday because I swear to God, y'all switch up every now and then. But rock out. I'm fucking with it. I'm out.
Thank you, Josh.
Appreciate it.
All right, dog.